The second video, part of the series where I'm trying to cover as much of the Morden test route as I can with the limited time I have. So we have just done the Rose Hill roundabout video, and now we're going to be doing the A217, which is the 40 miles an hour going up towards Sutton and the big Tesco. So the road that you could do here is the 40 miles an hour road, where it's not fully a dual carriageway, but there's not a central reservation, but the speed is 40 miles an hour. It's a fairly easy route where, you know, the traffic does flow quite well, but there's a few places where people unfortunately don't succeed because they don't follow road marking or what's written on the sign as well. So we're going to try and cover some of those pitfalls. This is also the route that has the bus lane, so when we get there I'll show you what to do when you're in this whole Sutton town centre bit as well. So again, it's a 40 miles an hour zone, so make sure that where it's safe to do so, you manage to get your speed up, and you know, don't sit at 30 miles an hour on a 40 road where it's safe to do so. Make sure that you are making good progress as you're driving along these roads. I mean, 40 miles an hour, this is quite a good 40 miles an hour because you get to actually drive at a reasonable speed. The roads are fairly open, so just checking my mirrors again, and then I'm going to be making progress. So into second gear. Remember your whole highway code, your 2-second gap from the car in front, leaving enough room for you to react if the car was to brake suddenly, or you know, the bus in front of us if it was to brake suddenly. So all of those kind of things, very important as you go along here. So I'm just doing just under 30 because obviously the bus in front of me is obviously doing that speed as well. Now you're not expected to go onto the right hand side and overtake the bus just because the bus is going a little bit slow. I would expect you to sit behind the bus unless the bus was traveling significantly slower. So don't feel the temptation to overtake a vehicle if the bus is or the vehicle is driving a little bit slower than what a car would have done in that situation. So again, a little bit of traffic, sitting in traffic. I've got my handbrake on. My hands are obviously on the steering wheel, and my right foot is on the brake. This is a diesel car, so obviously I won't be talking much about setting the gas. So for anybody you know, who's driving a diesel, they will be doing this technique. If you are driving a petrol, then you should be doing the set the gas, find the bite, set the gas, and then obviously handbrake down, and then make progress from there. So again, checking my mirrors, just making progress along this road. There's not much happening. Obviously you've got some big vehicles on the right who are overtaking us, which is absolutely fine. Like before, checking my mirrors frequently so that I am aware of my surrounding, and I'm maintaining my central position, which is the safe gap from both sides of the road. You don't want to be too close on the right because that could be dangerous for the cars overtaking you, and you don't want to be too close on the left. As a general rule, I'll say the red line that you can see on the floor, you want to be just outside of those red lines and not cross into them, because that will make you too close on that side. So I'm just approaching a pedestrian crossing, no one's there, so making progress from there. Now, as the bus has moved a bit more faster, so am I. So I'm checking my mirrors as I go through here, and I've just gone into fourth gear now. The speed has increased, so therefore so have my gears. Always remember your speed to gear ratio. As you go up your gears or up the speed, you want to change gears through and down, using your brakes to reduce your speed and using your gas to increase your speed. Some people, students, when they're learning, they're guilty of clutching first. So we're just going to turn left, so center mirror, left mirror, then obviously signal. Always remember, brake to slow down, and then clutch, and then accelerate to change gears up. So as a general rule, we're working on the whole 10 miles an hour. Unless it's a gradient, we're going to be traveling at first gear. 10 to 20 is going to be second gear. 20 to 30 is going to be third gear. Now remember, a lot of people, when they're driving at 20 miles an hour, they do tend to sit in second gear, and the engine labors, which basically means you're overworking the engine. You're not driving fuel efficiently, and it's bad for your engine, it's bad for the environment, and most importantly, it's bad for your pocket. So make sure that you are making progress with your gears as well. So it's a 30 miles an hour zone here. Checking my center mirror, and then going into third gear. We are going to be progressing through this road, and then through this road you're going to actually come to the end, and you're going to have that roundabout. And this is one of the ones that I wanted to cover, where a lot of people fall prey to. It's a sign that a lot of people misunderstand, so I'm just going to go into that road to show you. So roundabout, turning right, center mirror, right signal. No one's approaching, so I'm in second gear, and then I'm going to take the turn around the roundabout because I can, and then check my center mirror. Now at the end of this road you are going to be seeing a stop sign. Now you should have learned this in your theory, and you should know this, that what does a stop sign mean. So remember, I'm going to reiterate this, a lot of people fail here. So we're going to turn left. A stop sign means stop. It sounds so obvious, but it does not mean roll. It means a full stop. Once I've stopped here, you can see I've come to 0 miles an hour. Now I'm checking both of my sides, and then obviously I am making progress, and that is the correct way. I have actually, when I've done mock tests, many people have failed here, because what they do is they come to the stop sign, they don't actually fully stop, they keep the wheels rolling, thinking that they've obviously slowed down, but they are not. They have not adhered to the highway code. A stop means full stop and not rolling. So make sure that you have understood that stop sign. Now we're making progress here. This road is one of the roads that they actually do, or one of many roads that they can do some maneuvers on. It's a wide road, 20 miles an hour, nice and quiet road, you know, for you to do your parallel parking. Now we're going to turn right at the end, so I'm checking my center right mirror, and then it's a blind junction, so make sure that you come to a small pause, and then you can do your peep and creep technique, coming out slowly, but only edge out when there is not a vehicle coming. So I can see a bus on the right, but it's far away, no cars on the left, and then I've made progress nice and gently. Checking my center mirror, and then it's a 30 miles an hour zone, so working through my gears and into third gear. As I approach here, I can see that I am approaching a pedestrian crossing. So remember, look out for the zigzag lines, and if there is no one there, then approach with caution. Obviously seen this car trying to pull out, so I'm ready for him if he was to. And I'm just looking at signs saying that there is a concealed exit on the left, so therefore I'm being careful of that road or junction as well. Now the next sign, I know there are other videos here, but I haven't really done one, but it is the Central London sign I want you to follow. So check that left mirror, and then we're going to position ourselves into the left-hand lane. Now the Central London sign, again, this is the one few people fail, unfortunately, because they take the first left, which is a bus lane. You can see the sign. So again, you want to blow it up or freeze frame it, you will see the sign on the left hand side after the traffic lights on the tree with the blue sign saying bus lane anytime. So what you've got to do is you've got to go past the bus lane and then you give a signal. So well, you can give a signal from now, but past the bus lane and then you take the left turn. As I'm turning here, there are some pedestrians, so I'm just going to be careful and going nice and slow, and make sure you take the second road and not the first. So let me reiterate that again, the second road, not the first, because the first one is a bus lane and the second bit is our entrance bit. This road actually leads us into Sutton town centre, and there's various routes they could do. I'm going to probably allow ourselves to go towards Rose Hill roundabout. A lot of the examiners in Morden, they are ex-Sutton examiners as well, so they know the Sutton area quite well. And just from going into Morden over the last couple of months, I've noticed that they are doing these routes a lot more, as opposed to doing the Beverley roundabout or the other side. So this is a pedestrian crossing, just come to a gentle stop and ready to move off here. If you do have a handbrake that is non-electric, you can put it on and be ready. So left hand on the handbrake and just be ready to put it down. That's the correct procedure for any kind of pedestrian crossing. Again, it's the correct way, because if someone does shunt you from the back, you have an extra layer of protection, which is your handbrake, which hopefully will stop your car from hitting anyone. So as I'm going along here, just making progress gently into third gear. Now, I didn't really see a speed sign here. I wouldn't obviously do too much here because it is a busy area, but as there was no road signs, then this bit is a 30. So again, if we refer to the highway code, no speed signs. If you don't see any speed signs and there are street lights and no 20-mile speed limit, then you assume a 30 and you make progress. So here we're going to follow the one-way system round to the right. As I go around to the right, depending on what your car requires, I've just put it into second gear because the diesel is going to pull me round, and I'm going to check my side mirrors, make sure that no one's cutting me in. And this is the one-way system of Sutton. So on the left, we're going to go back towards Rose Hill as you get down here. Okay, thank you for watching this video.